So a brand new The Sims 4 survey actually leaked on Twitter, and quite a few very, very interesting things in there. Things that we're going to obviously talk about. Some things that have already been in previous surveys. Just a note that this survey was leaked. It's not an open survey. It's not something most of us, the plebs in the public, can actually vote for, but we can draw quite a few inferences from it, definitely. I've made one very big one, which you can see in the title and thumbnail. Mostly want to start off with the ocean exploration one, which you would see the description on the screen right now if I did a good job. And what's very, very interesting is I think this is just a slightly expanded version of pretty much the exact same theme that we've seen in a previous survey, one that wasn't closed. I actually quite like this one. Deep sea diving, museums, potentially houseboats, aquariums. Aquariums could be quite cool as a new kind of lot, but there's obviously the argument to be made, like this could have been in that LOP expansion pack Island Living, which makes me like a little bit less excited. But that's not to say all of this is just a retread, like most certainly not. One of the other new survey themes that we have here is reality TV, and I was immediately thinking, like, are they going to go a Survivor route with this, a Big Brother route with this, Great British Bake Off? And from the description, it seems like all manner of challenges would be included in this pack, and you'd have your like social games of like crafting little alliances and trying to win over the audience. Not entirely sure about this one, because I think this one has the potential to be very, very entertaining, but I'm more someone who enjoys things being added that I can use a lot. And this is just the kind of expansion pack where, depending on, maybe they give us features to actually craft our own reality TV scenarios, that would be cool. If they don't, I don't really see past the first month of every single Sims channel doing 20 reality TV simulations that this one is going to have a lot of staying power. But I respect it. I respect any kind of expansion pack that tries to give us something we've never seen before, and this is definitely the type of theme we've never seen before. But that starts moving us into the actual point of this video, where I'm going to make the very, very bold prediction that end of 2024 to around midpoint 2025, we are getting cars. We are getting cars. Not just getting cars in an expansion pack, but getting cars in base game. Why do I say that? Because the majority of these expansion pack themes are actually centered around cars, in different levels and extents, of course, but all of them are focused on cars in some respect. And I don't think that the results of these surveys really matter in terms of how game development works. I think they want to find something to pair with a big base game update that gives us cars, and then an expansion pack that kind of leads into some cool direction with cars that you have to pay for. There is almost no doubt in my mind that they would be considering this many different styles of approaching businesses with cars and firefighting and careers that involve cars, if they have not already made the internal decision and started internal development on cars coming to base game. I don't know how exactly cars are going to work. I have a suspicion that they're mostly going to be an item, potentially a driveway item like The Sims 2, except the cars won't actually go onto the street, because the streets in The Sims 4 are basically like a kind of painting. The amount of coding and effort and time and money and resources it would take for them to actually go back to every single lot in the game and make that kind of work like The Sims 2 did, where the car goes off onto the road and then drives off into oblivion, don't actually think we'll get something like that. But for a lot of people, including myself, just having cars as something in the game, having garage doors to actually use on our houses, like The Sims 4 lives in this weird kind of alternate reality where every single house does not have a garage. That's insane. So what are these actual themes for the survey? The first one is focused on community careers, things like dentist offices and salons. I would love to see a return of salons to the game. I was actually really hoping that that would be a feature in business and hobbies, but I digress. The other thing that they mention here are firefighters, and they specifically mention fire trucks making a return. If you remember, The Sims 3 Ambitions had a really, really cool active firefighting career. Honestly, the best part of the Ambitions career wasn't actually, I think, going to go save Sims on a lot. It was actually just like living your day-to-day in a fire station. I thought that was really, really cool and very, very unique. The next one is just simply called Car Life. Car Life is 100% just focused on cars. Drive-in movie theaters, working as a car salesperson or a professional race car driver. If you wanted to raise your kid to be train pulled. That's not an option here. You are going to give them RCs and install that automobile philosophy in them from the toddler life stage. Perhaps the most direct theme here, I would honestly love to see a lot of these features just be part of a base game update, some basic auto mechanic career or car salesperson career coming with a few cars. But there are also much more interesting ones. For example, The Sims 4 Work on Wheels is one of the themes here, where you're running a mobile business, which includes having a base vehicle like a food truck and taking that to festivals and trying to maintain your vehicle and also make a profit. Along with that one, which I'm not entirely sure how that would work, if the vehicle would be something you can customize the interior of, which I kind of doubt. I think it would be more kind of a half rabbit hole with animations when your sim is actually selling things from the little outcropping in I don't know anything about cars or vans, but I think you know what I mean, where they're like actually selling things like food to other sims. Another version of that we've actually seen before is The Sims 4 Van Life. I don't know how that exactly would work. I doubt you'd be able to customize the interior of it, or potentially you would, like a very limited plot of land or van that you could customize, and then that would spawn in different areas of the world. I kind of do like the idea of The Sims 4 Van Life, because I would definitely make a version of these crazy van families that are perpetually being fed to me on YouTube. Like, Mom, I want some fresh air. It's like, no, get back in the van. Mommy needs her ad revenue. Anyway, the final theme that we have here is called The Sims 4 Suburban Living. This one is not hugely focused on cars, but it is also potentially my favorite one, the one that I would vote for if I wasn't a pleb who wasn't invited to this closed survey. This pack very much seems to focus on like really expanding what suburban life is like in The Sims 4, and that already sounds like the type of thing that I like, things that I could use in different playthroughs. We have drive-throughs, we have the mowing of lawns, something we've actually never had in The Sims to my knowledge. We have expanded careers for teens, and most interestingly, we have trade schools where they can become a cosmetologist or a mechanic or a truck driver. Those things are really cool to me. They make mention here of owning a gas station or a mechanic shop to fix up cars and other such things. I assume I don't know anything about cars, sorry. This one also goes full on Desperate Housewives in its final paragraph, where it talks about expanded secrets and neighborhood secrets and hidden relationships and even criminal activities. I think that's really neat. That kind of neighborhood drama element is something that I think elevates The Sims 2 above any of the other mainline games. So yes, these are absolutely really interesting ideas, and I do think I am pretty confident in my guess that we are getting cars. We are getting cars. I do not think they would be asking people about expansion pack themes revolving this much around cars if they have not already started internal development on cars coming to base game. I don't think that they would risk the PR nightmare of locking cars behind DLC, but you never know. And I think it's also important to note, given like previous surveys that we've had, ones that were open to the public, it's not necessarily the case that if one wins out here, they won't reuse features in different packs, or potentially just do the other expansion pack features as well. And that makes me very excited, because I think The Sims 4 actually does a lot of the times thrive when trying out completely new ideas. A lot of my least favorite expansions for The Sims 4 are basically retreads of things we had in a better way in The Sims 1, 2, and 3. But something like Get Together, which is not really quite like any other pack we've ever received with its club system, really stands out to me as what The Sims 4 is capable of if, you know, things work out and a lot of love and care is put into it. So do tell me what you think about these themes, and also any support on this video, a like, a comment, a subscribe, a bell, I don't know, send me money, I don't know. Any of that really helps a small channel like me, and I appreciate it very much. And as always, I will never ever escape this franchise. Until next time.